a love fest? I was like, right before we jumped on, I'm like, what is this?
Well, you'll find out.
I like the name, but it's very open ended. You know,
had a few more like he's like, are we?
Yeah,
I think I know where she just took that. Okay.
Let's just say this. In the middle of a love fest, you're going to be completely naked.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's
It gets progressively more risque as it goes on.
Correct.
Okay,
It's
I just
what
wanted
you
to know
thought.
what I'm signing up for.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to Dear Shandy listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm already so at ease. Like sometimes going into a love fest, especially with such illustrious guests, sometimes I
Yes.
get a little nervous. And they are so cool and chill. When we first hopped on Zoom, they were laughing together.
Amazing.
Before they even knew we were there.
And they were on Zoom.
Yeah, who's laughing on Zoom? That's a good point. Okay, so before we officially have them join us, I will talk for a while about who they are. I think most people know who they are. I'll go in chronological order because the female guest here dates back almost as far back as me, but not quite. We're the elder Bachelor alums. But you know her as the nurse with a heart of gold from Nick Vile's season, Bachelor Season 21. She was also on Paradise Season 4 and 8. Andy took the notes for this love fest, and he made a point of saying that you have a cat named Ray.
I do.
Andy really loves cats, so if anyone has a cat,
I saw
they get
your
mentioned.
cat named Ray. And I
Pretty.
may have looked at more pictures of your cat than I should.
She is the host of the wonderful WOMED podcast, where they discuss the latest issues facing the medical community, as well as tips on self-care, health trends, and how it affects women specifically. I love your podcast so much because it's educational, but fun. It's like fun educational.
Fun educational.
Fun educational. Yeah, it's like you're hearing girls, like girlfriends chat. They feel like you're girlfriends, but it's also educational.
Yeah.
And especially if you're not in the medical community, which I'm not, it's really informative. Anyway, I'd love it. And she can be found on Instagram at dmaltby, MALTBY, and at nursed aesthetics. Danielle Maltby, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. That was quite an intro. Appreciate it.
And to her right, I don't think he's a stranger to anyone, but you know him from season 17, Katie Thurston's season of The Bachelorette. This was the first season we ever recapped together. Yes. Michael A has gotten a lot of airtime over here on Dear Shandy.
You really have. You should check it out.
I've followed your guys' podcast and appreciated all the kind words along Katie Thurston's season. It was much apprecied.
You were easy to like.
Oh my
thank you.
God, right? Who wouldn't like Michael A?
Yeah, you
It's
have to be
impossible.
a jerk.
He's also from Paradise Season 8. He's an entrepreneur. If you're okay with talking about this, Andy dug up that you just got a patent approved.
Yeah. So let's see. In 2019, I submitted a patent for a topical therapeutic that offsets a side effect of chemotherapy. And we discovered this cream basically when Laura was going through chemo. A lot of the side effects of chemotherapy, I mean, there's so many, but one in particular is called hand-foot syndrome, and it burns off a lot of your skin on your hands and feet. And prior to this, there was no remedy for it. And this was during a time when James was 7 months old. You know, Laura couldn't hold James. Her iPhone wouldn't even recognize her fingerprint. So it was really, really painful. And when we were going to the doctors to complain about a side effect like this, they really had no alternative. So this whole thing was really born out of necessity, not really a business. And then we started sending it out to people and it started working. And you know, once Laura passed, I took some time off, maybe about 4 months or so from the project, and then, you know, got my energy back up and wrote a patent and was able to be awarded it a couple months ago. And what we're looking at now is undergoing some clinical trials at a university at the end of May. And hopefully this is something that, you know, makes people who are going through cancer, their lives just a little bit easier and allows them to finish out the course of their therapy.
Wow, that's fantastic. And I know how hard it is to get a patent because I also
literally on, not to make this about us. This sounds like we're making
I
it
didn't
about
mean
us.
to make this about me.
No, I'm going to have questions about this.
We just came home on Saturday to Andy's first patent, like the actual certificate in the mail.
It's
And
total coincidence.
Oh, congratulations.
And it's amazing.
And it's not easy to get. I mean, this took years.
It took years.
Yeah. And you have to submit all prior literature and art to support it and, be ahead of it. And it is a long, grueling process. And I think, probably you agree, Andy, is, along the way, there's multiple opportunities where you want to maybe give up or say like, I've hit a roadblock. And it takes a little bit of grit to get through that whole process.
Absolutely. And I'm very impressed. Your patent, I'm not going to say what mine is, but yours will be more helpful to the world, probably than mine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have some questions about yours, so let's talk offline then.
Okay, fine.
Okay, he can be found on Instagram at Michael_Allio L4. What's with the L?
Yeah, what's with that's not a great handle.
No, it's not. I actually didn't even have a Instagram till 2019, so this whole social media thing is a little bit new and fresh to me. The L4 component of it is I do have a nonprofit that we sell T-shirts and stuff. All the proceeds go to support, again, the cancer community, free health services for them. We donate to 501c3s all over the country. So that's the L4.
I feel terrible.
Yeah, y'all totally called him out.
Yeah. Shame on you. Shame on your houses.
Oh, man.
No, it was James. James was
Damn
saying,
it.
curse you.
Yeah,
And I got
curse
both
you.
your houses.
Okay, well, L4, I'm never forgetting that.
Not a great handle, though. It's not a great handle.
Right. Good. It means well, but the handle.
Michael Allio, thank you so much for joining us, both of you. You're joining us from Akron, right?
Yeah.
Where Danielle, you now live in Cleveland.
I now live in Cleveland, yes. Yeah,
Very
but it's
recently.
not too far. Yeah, very recently, like the 6th.
Wow.
Her place is only about 25 minutes away normally, but today it was, for some reason, like an hour.
Yeah, thundersleep.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Amazing.
Okay, well, Michael, you were wondering what exactly a love fest was. Well, what had you signed up for? What's going to happen now?
Yes.
Andy informed you would get naked, but on the way to getting naked, we have to ask you.
Naked souls.
Yeah, you got to work for it.
Okay.
So normally our first question's a real easy one, but it's a little more complicated with you because how you met, I think most people have an idea of how you met. And I think also most people have an idea of the second question I have, which is how aware of each other were you before meeting? Correct? You sort of had an online relationship, right? Where you're kind of just friendly, right?
Yeah.
Is there no flirtatious vibes?
Oh, I put him out there. He shut him down.
He's shaking his head.
Michael's cool as ice. We didn't even know that you liked her for like the first
had no idea.
hour of your relarelationship. And that's TV.
no.
It's a TV hour, not real life hour.
Right. A TV hour is basically like a week. You know?
It's true.
But go ahead. You probably could tell that.
Well, I actually had a friend who was going through breast cancer treatment as well. And that kind of circles back to the patent that you now got. I was talking to Michael about trying to figure out how, like, different ways that I could support her. And you actually sent some of the cream to my friend Erica to try, and it helped her out a lot. So, But we had just kind of chatted a little bit earlier than that too. You had posted, I think it was like an anniversary post.
Yeah.
And I had been like wanting to reach out, but not quite sure how. But I just basically was like, hey, if you need like another friend in this community that has been through something similar, that gets it when you have an influx of people messaging you, telling you all their deepest, darkest traumas and things that have happened to them. If you need someone who's been there, we can be friends.
Yeah, and it was really helpful that Danielle reached out because, I mean, obviously the being on the show, it's its own experience, but finding somebody that has real life experience that I can relate to. Losing Nick, when they were going to get married and trying to create that life afterwards, while all of this other stuff is happening simultaneously. It's really difficult. I think a lot of people can relate to it, but few can understand, if that makes sense. And Danielle was kind of one of those people. We never met in person prior to Paradise, but it is a small world, the Bachelor world. And so, of course.
Everybody talks.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to blow up people's spot, but
but
It's true. Michael, I like how you put that. A lot of people might, think they can understand, but they don't actually.
Can't put yourself in.
Yeah, he didn't. You worded it more elegantly than that, but I think that's so true. Oh my God, we talk about it.
We were listening to you on the WOMED
on
podcast,
the WOMED, and
actually.
I'm so careful. Highly recommend. It's a 2-parter, 2 separate episodes. Highly recommend the one where you interrogate Michael.
And I'm not gonna say it has anything to do with your age, but I do notice that you take time to think about what you say. And you actually care for your words, which is something I appreciate. So well done. Good talking.
Thank you.
I was saying earlier that his words carry weight.
They do.
Both of them.
Yeah, you control the room. Like when you're speaking, people are like, oh.
I also don't know how to take compliments. I don't think either of us are
don't say anything.
that
Just
good
smile.
at it right now.
Just smile.
No,
I
look
also
at him
can't
and I'm
do
like,
it.
you're so hot. And he's like, yay. Or he goes completely sarcastic and like something about like dad bods and something really cringy. I don't know.
Yep. That's my default.
We're the same way. We don't know, how do people do that? How do you take a compliment? How is it done?
I've heard that if you don't take a compliment well, it's almost disrespectful and you're almost dismissing the other person's feelings or projections onto you.
Oh, interesting.
But at the same time, like in the moment, I don't care about that. I just want to hide, and I have a hard time with it. So if I do get a compliment and I'm not taking it well, I don't mean to dismiss. It's just I don't know.
Yeah,
You're hot.
Stop
You're
it.
hot, babe.
Stop it.
You're hot.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Because I think this will land with the two of you. We talk about this.
Yeah.
How do you feel if someone gives you a compliment and you say thank you and then they say you're welcome?
Oh.
I want to die inside.
Yeah.
We've had full conversations about the appropriateness of you're welcome and when it's not appropriate.
Yeah. Like, oh, your hair looks lovely today.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It feels very transactional.
But it almost feels like there needs to be an end to that conversation, right? Like
After the thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a hard stop. And it's an awkward transition.
Like, do you then compliment them on something?
But
that
then
you
it
weren't
seems
prepared
superficial.
To compliment?
Yeah.
It seems like you're just humoring them.
I feel like
I would say
transactional.
naturally I'm following that up with a compliment on the same plane, and it probably doesn't
Then it's
land.
forced. Is it intentional?
Well, I mean, I would not make a. I mean, it is forced, yes.
Yeah.
But you would find a way for it to be authentic, knowing you.
Yes.
Yeah, I relate to all of this. Okay, so
It's a healthy dose of shame. That's what it is.
I sense the exact right amount of shame from both of them.
Agreed.
Yeah, congratulations. We talk about shame a lot
Shame
here.
is very important. We've both discussed how without shame, the world would descend into chaos. It would
Explain
be hell.
this.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Well, shame is a very important, I think, evolutionary tool because it forces you to stop yourself when you're about to do something that would probably be bad for you and for the people around you. It's just,
maybe it's good for you, but it's bad for other people.
Yeah.
Like it might be just out of self-interest, but you stop yourself because that's too selfish a way to think. You feel shame.
I think that's interesting. I always have like this idea in my head of like, I'm a movie buff, and I always have this thought of like, if I was watching myself on the big screen, like in the third person, would
Kind of like watching yourself back on Paradise?
No, not outside of the Bachelor world. I will not watch that back. But it's like, do my actions align, or do my thoughts align with my actions constantly? Like if I'm removing myself from my thoughts and all of that, and I'm just watching it, is it all consistent with itself? And am I a character that I would end up rooting for and liking if I wasn't so personally attached to myself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really love that. That's now I'm going to add that to one of the many things that keeps me awake at night. Okay. So I love, we're having such a nice time with you that we're not really making a dent in our questions. So stop being so fun.
Focus on the show.
Okay. So was there anything, love fest. Was there anything watching yourself back on Paradise where you're like, oh, it was actually like this, or anything you think that viewers missed out on in your love story?
How swollen my legs were.
Yeah. I would go into detail about that.
No.
She had some serious peripheral edema.
Everyone did. Well, it was like half the cast. Half the cast had like severe edema in their lower extremities because they've got you up all night long.
Leg swelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had us on like Lasix, which made me super dizzy and like I was passed out.
Wait, isn't that for horses?
No.
Oh, sorry. Am I thinking of another
like
Lasix?
congestive heart failure and stuff like that, or like
It's a horse blood thinner. Anyway, I'm thinking of something else.
They're giving us horse tranquilizers down there.
So like it really make us work. No. I don't know. What do you think? We're so guarded that
I think that's a big point. I think there was a little bit of confusion on how the editing happened for us. I think, when Danielle came down, it was clear that her and I had spoken. And that was one thing we were never going to hide, the fact that we have exchanged DMs. I mean, again, we had never met in person. We were friends. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people on the show that have spoken, but that is such a simplistic way of looking at whether or not you're compatible with one another. There's so much more work that has to happen. And especially for, my life prior to Danielle coming into it, the hardest work for us is, how do we get these two lives together? How do I introduce her to my son? I mean, I've got in-laws. I've got all of these things, very awkward conversations and things that take up a lot of time that, once our walls finally came down and we started welcoming each other into our lives, it was so much more. I don't know. There's so much more substance there and so many more things we had to tackle, which I feel like was not necessarily captured on the show.
Mm-hmm. I think our playfulness too, because I feel like a lot of people thought we just talked about grief and our exes the whole time. And meanwhile, we're like joking and sarcastic and playful and fun, normal human beings.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the stuff they edit out. We were talking about them on the show. We were just like, they always show the things that they think are important, but they don't show the things that actually are important to the fans.
In their
which are
case,
just watching
actually,
two people act silly together.
It is tough because in their case, it actually was important.
I know. That was the problem. You had a really important thing.
I can see why they cut what they cut, but it's still a shame because you don't really get the full picture. But Danielle, your answer was, sometimes when you ask a question, you know what it's like. You host a podcast, like you have an idea of what people will say. I thought, you were going to say your goofiness, because even in our time with you so far, and anything you see of you two online, it's really electric with just like weirdness in a very good way.
Yeah, thank you.
Cozy, 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 cozy on my legs. Cozy, 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 cozy in my sheets.
Yeah, you are cozy all the time. You're cozy from all directions with your Cozy Earth pants and our Cozy Earth sheets. I actually think a second pair of cozies are probably coming in the pipeline. And I say that because recently your other lounge pants, which will not go named, they had holes in them. They really aged far worse than your cozy. I mean, your Cozy Earth pants still look brand new. We finally had to recycle them, and you need now another pair of lounge pants.
And it's a testament to how much I love these because I'm just getting these in another color.
Yeah. Really branching out there. You know that another pair of lounge pants are not going to make you as happy as those ones.
That's what my pants are telling me. They whisper it to me. They're like, you can find some other pant, but you won't be as happy as you are with me.
And come on, the sheets. We've talked about the sheets. It's like sleeping in a cloud.
Because they're made from viscose from bamboo, which somehow is unbelievably soft.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
And sustainable.
Yes. And cooling This is a big issue for you.
I don't even remember what it's like to wake up clammy. I don't.
And I mean, when the first several years we were together,
It was bad.
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was like a pool. It's gross.
And Cozy Earth sheets have been on Oprah's favorite things list for 5 years now. Oprah, who has access to the world's most fancy sheets and expensive and whatever sheets, she likes Cozy Earth the best. I really do think you get that luxe feeling and look and everything for a very reasonable price point. And the fact that she even feels that way, I mean, it only makes me feel validated.
I feel honored that even after 5 years of Oprah, they're like, no, we need Dear Shandy to talk about this too.
Oh, it's true. So right now, our listeners, the Shandys, can save a whopping 35% on Cozy Earth.
But hurry, this New Year's offer ends soon.
Go to cozyearth.com/Shandy and be sure to enter promo code Shandy at checkout to save 35%.
cozyearth.com/Shandy.
Okay, so what are some traits you've learned about each other since embarking on real life together? So you part ways from the show, you're long distance, you start getting, I think, a lot of love, but also, you know, a good amount of, I think, criticism from the very intense world of Bachelor Nation. I mean, people really get up in arms. What did you learn about each other through that?
This guy always has my back. Like, even if like there's like one comment that like, I'm like, I'm gonna engage with this one today. And like he sees it, he's like right up there behind it, like, I got you. It's too many things to try and name. Like, our whole relationship really started once we finally got off the beach.
Yeah.
Like, that was just like a testing point of, okay, do we like spending time around each other? Are we comfortable with each other? Are we attracted to each other? I mean, I wanted to jump his freaking bones as soon as we got off the beach, but like figuring out real.
Wait, did you not go to the boom boom room?
Yeah, there was
no, he wouldn't. I tried.
You're such a prude, Michael.
I'd walk up to him and be like,
Wrong with
You know,
you want to hear some really hot words? Air conditioning.
Yeah, she was trying to lure me in there with air conditioning, like there was free candy in there, some sort of van. I was like, I've seen this before. All I could think about in my head was, don't create an issue for James down the road where he has to look back on something.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Responsible adult in the room.
No
Good
one
control.
wants.
It was difficult. I mean, it was hot down there. There were drinks being poured. It was late nights,
So
you
hot.
know.
Yeah.
She had swollen legs, which are oddly my fetish.
Your biggest turn on. I heard about
It's
that.
my biggest turn on. I was like, how did you know?
It's just because anytime I could lay down or sit down, I would lay down and my legs would be like way up.
Yeah. I was like,
It's like, don't let that blood drain down.
yeah, right.
Let it
Ice
pool.
bath.
Let it pool.
Okay, Michael, how about you? You go through this together. What do you learn about her throughout this? The aftermath.
You know, just being on two different seasons, I feel like it was two different experiences for me, especially with audience reaction. You know, when I came off of Katie's season, it was pretty much like the, you know, beloved single widowed father that, you know, people felt sympathy for. And you know, that was, I was happy to be able to tell that story and all of that. And then we received, you know, a little bit of blowback from what we experienced on Paradise. But I do have to say, my experience, even with the blowback on Paradise, was so much better because I knew how it ended. You know, I knew that I had her and I had her to go through this whole thing with. So it's almost this thing where, is it like preferred to be loved by strangers or to find a person to love, you know? Mm-hmm. And with her, it was just so much easier after Paradise, even though, you know, Twitter turned on me.
I deleted Twitter.
You can't have both.
Yeah.
No, you cannot have both. And I would much rather prefer, you know, to have her and go through it with her than
it's a good choice.
Admiration from strangers.
Let's rank the meanest ones. Is Twitter the meanest? No, Reddit is the meanest. Reddit's the scariest.
Yeah. I don't even engage in Reddit. I can't.
Reddit.
I do.
Yeah,
it's like
I was told a long time ago, stay off Reddit, and I am following suit.
Yeah.
I'll go on at Reddit like as a thrill seek. It's like bungee jumping. I'm just like, dear Shandy.
Yeah. I mean, why? I feel like if, Instagram's probably TikTok's probably the kindest.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
Yeah, I think TikTok and then Instagram, we're going from kindest to worst. Yeah, then Twitter. I think if you lose Twitter, it's like a swing state, like you lose Twitter and the whole elections,
Wow.
plummeting.
It's Ohio.
Yeah.
It's like Ohio.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You lose that, you lose the country.
Yeah.
I guess it goes by how anonymous they feel. Like Twitter, they don't feel like they're tweeting at you.
Yeah.
But I would agree with that. Twitter ranks
the
pretty
proper
mean.
ranking. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm trying hard to avoid questions that were asked on the WOMED because I want them to fit together.
You really
like
took
puzzle
all the
pieces.
good questions. Not very fair.
Yeah. So if anyone feels like we're missing anything, do check out their podcast. But you talked about your first impressions in that episode, the first of the 2 episodes, but I want to know how those have changed, if at all. So from when you meet, you can touch on that, and also how those have changed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say this without like blushing and being like super giddy, which like you'll make fun of me for. I keep falling. Like I fucking love you. I can't, like every time I see him, every time I spend any time with him, I'm just like, holy shit, like you're my guy. Like I love you so much.
I love you too.
And he goes out of his way constantly to, especially with the move, to like make me feel, safe and secure. And it's really been a joy. I mean, it hasn't been without, tough conversations, which really have only brought us closer.
Yeah.
And
They usually do.
I know.
Yeah.
You're just he's my safe place.
Wow. I think this is where we get naked.
All right.
So this is a love fest. Now I know. All things have been answered.
It's your quip.
Danielle, like, she surprised me a lot. We were very guarded. I mean, rightfully so.
I didn't think I deserved your love. Like you were like, I don't know if I can love anybody.
Well, I don't know if you're just in your head a lot because you understand the magnitude of what you're trying to accomplish, and that there are people involved. And she is just such a incredibly caring. I mean, gorgeous inside and out, ambitious. I love what you stand for socially. I mean, educated. And just the people that she surrounds herself with, they're remarkable. I mean, there are people that the second you meet them, it like feels like home. Like you feel like you've met them for a long time, and you can tell that that's a lot of work pouring into relationships. And it's not necessarily you have tons of friends, but it's the quality of friends you have that it just shows me that you show up on a regular basis for people that you love. And that's a big part of it.
Oh my God. What
Good
an
answer.
Yeah. Oh my God. Living up so far, you two,
really.
I've got to say. That really does say so much about a person.
It does. And it's so refreshing. I have found, it was not many times, but definitely this time, is when you find someone you really love and you want to spend your life with, and then you find out that you really love their friends. It's just like, of course, but also thank you. And then
Yes.
on the other side of that, when you find out you really don't, like
Yeah,
that
then you're just,
in and
then
of
you start
itself.
questioning. You're like, wait a minute, if these are all the friends, then maybe I've made a misjudgment.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And it's a package deal, right? Like we've all had friends that have dated somebody else and the whole group's like, oh God, you see, you see who he's dating. Like, we don't want to go on the double date with them anymore. Like, you know,
Totally.
Yeah, we've all done that.
I have
and
totally done that.
yeah, I mean, everybody has. It's like, oh my God, we've lost Peter. He's gone. Like, he's never coming back. But with her friends, they've just welcomed me in, and my friends have done the same to her, and they're so compatible that it's a great deal.
We were talking about that. We're like, okay, who who's the Chelsea of your friends in like my friend group, and
Yeah.
who's like the JP in my friend group, or to like your friend group. And,
Right.
like,
They're all doppelgangers.
They really are. It's funny. We really want to get them all together.
I know.
Because they're just
Bizarre
really
world.
great people.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you don't only, not that you guys are married, but let's just use marry as a term, but you don't only marry the person, you marry the family. They always say that. You marry the family, but you also, more importantly, marry the friends.
Yes.
You're not spending as much time with the family as you are with the friends, generally speaking.
Unless you're
Correct.
asking for them to ditch their friends, which suggests something is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Great answers. Okay. So one more lovey-dovey question, and then we're going to ask some tougher ones. How do you two complement each other?
I think it's just in the way that we show up for each other.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way that we complement each other.
Don't take
And
my
how
answer.
is that? How is that?
So we had this, there's this concert, right? That this artist was coming to town. Michael loves this artist. And I had therapy that night. I was like, babe, like I just moved. Like you can go, like please, like go to this concert. Like I know you want to go, like go without me. Like I know you need to do this. I also need to take, this space and check in with my therapist and like make sure my mental health is good and like how I show up for people. And I was like, if we finish, on time or whatever, like I could probably come meet you. And you were just like, I could tell you were bummed that I wouldn't be there, but you were also like, no, like go and like do what you need to do, take care of you. And then I showed up anyways after therapy. I had a great session, and you were so happy.
I'm happy to see you.
I
Yeah.
know, so sweet.
So let me see. I mean, in terms of how we complement each other,
We push each other though too, like.
yeah, I think there's the first thing is creating like the safe place, right, where you can be open and honest and do that without feeling like you're going to be judged, or that whatever you confess or say isn't going to be used later as collateral or something like that.
Oh, so true.
I think for us, there's this there's a lot of support. We both kind of champion each other's efforts, our passions, whatever we're trying to do. She's incredibly gifted as a nurse, amazing podcaster. All of her passions. It's always trying to feed it, nurture it, try to move it to the next level. And she does the same thing with me. I think both of us we kind of have that Midwestern humility. Like we
don't
feel,
want to get excited for our own things. So like the patent and like the clinical trials that are starting, you're just like, no, I'm not like I can't. I was like, babe, this is big. Like you've done a really big thing. Like I'm going to speak all this out into the universe that this is coming and that this is happening because what a legacy, but you've worked so hard on this, and what like a beautiful thing to come from something so tragic. And like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm just like, he's going to be awesome. This is going to be so great. I'm so proud of him. Like, and you're just like, nope, not until I see the data.
Yeah.
Until I see the data. I'm just like, no, it's going to be awesome.
I know. I think we're both each other's hype person. And I mean,
Quick question on that. Sorry to interrupt, but let's say you do see the data and it suggests that you should really celebrate yourself. Are you able to do that then?
No. No.
Michael.
It'll always be like something. I think I've been incredibly blessed in my life to have been around very amazing people. And I think when you're around people that inspire you, it's not a comparison, but what really greatness can look like when you see it in other people and their actions. And I think for me, I just don't think I'd ever get there. And that's like, okay, that's what helps me like keep going. But I'm sure there's some sort of psychological issue with all of this.
I relate to that so
Imposter
hard.
syndrome.
Yeah.
I suffer from that.
It's not like an inferiority, but it's like when you look up to something and you've seen some people do amazing things, you always look at that and be like, I haven't even come close.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I relate to that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
well,
and I
especially
derailed
probably
your
in
answer.
opera and all of that. I'm sure you see that regularly.
I feel like I'm able to feel joy on like like I get the news and I'm like, that's cool. And then
it goes away.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And then, we'll get like 100 unbelievably kind comments and like one negative one. And that will take up so much more airtime in my head over the course of a 24-hour period than me finding out I'm on the cover of Opera Canada or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like there's something wrong with me, but I feel like I'm in good company.
Yes.
Oh, no, you are.
Yes.
We should all imposter syndrome.
We should double date sometime, guys.
Yeah. But sorry, Michael, I derailed your answer.
No, it was I'm a loser.
And she's not. That's the compliment, right?
She's not. Yes.
Okay.
If you're a loser, surround yourself with winners. That's all I'm saying. It's a survival tip.
Their answer, I forget, there was another Love Fest, but it kind of reminds me of that, is the idea of passing the baton. It's like you're not going to be up and like motivated and happy and appreciative and, able to be your best self all the time. And so the ability of your partner to not only recognize that, but be like, oh, I'll take the baton for now.
Yeah, I think it's about a seesaw. It's like picking the other partner up when they're down.
Yeah.
And vice versa. It's sometimes complimenting each other is more of a theme than specific.
Yeah.
It's just like everything. Like I'm so defeatist sometimes. Like I'm immediately like, oh, this is fucked. We're done. It's over.
I hate it when he does that.
Yeah, I'm like fatalistic always.
Yeah.
Everything. Even with like deciding what color like curtains to buy.
Yeah.
It's
It's suddenly the end of the world. Worst case scenario. It's always the worst case scenario where his mind goes. And he vocalizes it. And I'm like, stop it. You're going to make that your reality.
Yeah, and she really pulls me back, and she's taught me not to do that as much. I wait like 10 minutes now to be fatalistic. So I'm getting there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a delay.
Strong work.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I think for me, I mean, I could speak for myself at least here, is that just through life experience, I've realized there are very few things that actually matter. Like very few. Yeah. I mean, the majority of things that take up our time and our space, our energy, they either fix themselves or they go away. There's like a handful of things. It's like your health, your relationships, like your outlook, like things like that you have to protect. Everything else, it's not a big deal.
It's true. If you could cliff note someone's live. I went between life and live, and it became something weird. But it would be just like 3 or 4 things in your whole life. Yeah. Like 3 or 4 scenes, and you'd be like, "Yeah, that's true. Those were the only things that mattered. The rest, everything else
is really just noise. I mean, it's just a lot of little micro decisions that really don't.
I like that micro decision.
Yeah, they don't accumulate too much.
Well, it's like when we were cleaning out, we've done a huge clean out of the apartment, like just thrown out everything.
Not thrown out,
so
donated.
Donated, true. Donated, recycled, and thrown out occasionally.
I'm really anal about that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, how do I recycle this old cord?
Yeah, I've got a whole bag.
You got to drive 3 hours away in order to find
but you're going to find it.
No, but my point is that you look at all these things you've accumulated in your life, and there was a point in time where that thing that you're now like, oh, does this go in the recycle or throw away or give away
the
pile?
Motorola Razor.
You don't give a damn. Yeah, exactly.
I remember thinking the Motorola Razor was really going to change my life.
Motorola Razor. Oh, the phone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You still have one of those?
Andy has this
weird... I have a collection of old
Andy
phones.
Struggles a little bit with hoarding. It's a slight...
It's like light hoarding. Very light. Small hoarding.
I do think that would be great on a shelf to see like the evolution of a phone. It's almost like a Smithsonian.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you're giving him ideas.
I mean, I could probably do that.
I kind of like that. You just need to have like the cases underneath and maybe a little plaque. Where you were in your life.
It would be a great film. Star Trek to Sidekick.
Yeah.
The Blackberry.
Oh, the sidekicks.
I was Sidekick guy for a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blackberries.
I love talking to people who
they know. Some people look at me like, Sidekick?
Yeah, right. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Anyway, my point is... No more tangents. My point is that there was a day in your life where a lot of that day was spent struggling over the decision of how to acquire, or decide upon that thing. And now you're just like, that was absolutely meaningless.
A lot of lessons can be learned in that purging process, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels good. You feel
It
lighter.
feels so good. Lighter, literally.
I
and
love
figuratively.
it. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so what was an early hurdle in your relationship and how did you overcome it?
I like how this is set up because it's the hard questions naturally go to her first.
Well,
You can take this one first.
No, let's keep the
No,
the
I want to
format.
know what you think.
Stay true to the format.
Yeah, stay true to the format.
Oh,
I'm going to give you some time to think while I ask a question.
yeah.
You can't ask a question.
I'm going to ask a question. Within a question, you can think, and I'm going to ask another question because I know our Shandies are going to want to know. When on the show, I personally, to be honest, I was struggling, but you're so cool, Michael. You don't give off, and I don't know what's going on with you on that show. Nothing. No idea. So I didn't know when the point came where you were like, okay, we were having this chat offline or online, whatever, off real, not IRL, whatever you want to call it. And that was good. But, now I'm in it. Now I want to be with this person. Like, what was that later in the show? Like, I didn't get the feeling, I didn't feel a spark.
Right.
When did that happen?
Danielle said
That was off camera.
Danielle said this earlier. Our relationship really didn't start going until we got off the show. I think for a lot of people, it's the complete opposite. It's like there's a relationship on the show, and then when real life hits, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you? You're a monster. But for us, at least, well, I should just say for me, we were kind of guarded this whole time. It was really an awkward situation for us. There was fear for me that I had this friend, I had this person that I admired. And that's really scary when you go into a relationship because there's something to lose. You can lose a really important friend. Yeah. And that was really scary to me. I was like, if this doesn't work out, will we not be able to be friends anymore? And that was kind of bothersome. For me, at the end of the show, it wasn't as though we were in this, I guess kind of juvenile, love state. It was, there is enough here to explore. Mm-hmm. There's this is special. Let's get these cameras off us and we can go explore this in the real life. Mm-hmm. And if that's the spark of hope, right? It's not the spark where, you're just love drunk and love bombing and throwing everything at it. It's that's a form of love that we kind of held on to, and it got progressively better once the cameras were stopped
Oh my
rolling.
God, so mature.
But isn't the natural way to fall in love on television?
It is.
Okay.
Personally, I think if you're not doing it, are you really in love?
Yeah.
If fewer than 1 million people are watching, are you actually doing anything?
No.
Yeah.
Did it happen? It's like if a tree fell in the woods, no one saw it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually, no, but seriously, that is a good answer. And I did feel that. I felt that you were valuing something, but you weren't jumping into it, at least while we were watching.
Valuing and evaluating.
Scared.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost like it was an audition.
Yes.
Well, isn't all dating an
100%.
initial audition and interview process?
Yeah.
Ruthless, not PC audition process. That's what it is.
True. Oh, it's so not PC.
No.
If there's one thing we've learned from having a relationship podcast is a lot of the idea of dating and what attraction is not PC.
If you want to speak honestly about it.
Yeah.
I agree. I completely agree with that.
Okay, Danielle.
We had
You've had enough time to think.
Yeah, you're not off the hook.
Well, we had one little physical spark moment on Paradise that I can't really elaborate on because someone might get in trouble.
Yeah.
But I know that it's kind of
Contracts, babe. Contracts.
Uh-oh.
a little something.
Okay. But it was a moment that you knew.
Wait,
It was a moment where
Yeah.
we realized that the physical attraction was definitely there.
Physical chemistry was
Was
definitely
present. Okay.
Was there like a sly
Present
handy
and
going on,
alive.
or what was happening there?
Yeah. And you didn't go to the boom boom room.
Yeah, what
we
was
did not
what?
go. We did not go to the booth.
Nope.
Should we try to guess? It's not like they can tell us anyway.
We found a spot.
Did you find like the blind spot on the show? Like the one little place where the cameras just couldn't find an angle? And you curled up like a couple of cockroaches and just started doing it?
We are crafty veterans.
It's like the Truman Show.
There's
They broke
there's
through.
secrets on that resort.
Totally. It's like the Truman Show.
They broke
They
through
got
the-
their footage on loop.
Yeah.
They were just
Yes.
hanging out in a
Yeah.
daybed when really they were
Like, and go.
Yeah, right. I love that movie, by the way.
Great.
love it.
All
Oh, I
time.
Yeah,
cried.
it's so good.
I cry every time I watch that.
When I saw that, I said to myself, Jim Carrey is going to be the biggest movie star ever. And he didn't become that.
I mean, he's pretty famous.
Yeah, but he never really
famous.
launched from Truman Show.
I know what you mean. I think you were expecting him to
be
become
like
more
Tom
dramatic.
Hanks level.
What was
I
it?
don't know about
Eternal Sunshine.
Sunshine of the Spotless
Oh,
Mind.
right.
That's a
That was
great movie.
fantastic, too. And that came out, after Truman Show? A little
Yeah, I
bit?
think right after Truman Show. Awesome soundtrack.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know. I saw him on The Mask and thought he was going to be like the biggest.
That's another fine
I love how
film.
we're all talking about Jim Carrey like he didn't make it.
Yeah, like Jim Carrey is now destitute. He can't get a commercial gig in Japan.
Okay. We're having fun when there's a question within a question.
Yeah.
Back to the question, early hurdle.
I'd say it just has to do with figuring how each other work and like how much time each other needs to like process and think through things. Like you can't just sit there and I mean there's personal hurdles too, and you keep reminding me of this, which I need. Like I am such like a forward thinker. I think about everything all at once, and Michael really helps to keep me more present and not try and like tackle future hurdles before they even arrive. So that was more of like a personal hurdle.
Yeah.
But like learning how just to talk to each other and like thoughtfully talk to each other.
Yeah. I completely agree with that.
Because there have been really tough conversations.
But
and, like, figuring out our
they're
life,
real
but
they're real
yeah.
conversations.
The
I mean,
conversations that you should be having.
yeah. I think for us it was how can we
Handle tough conversations.
I'll say this because I can speak broadly on it. There was a conversation that we had. I won't go into the details, but I had to unfortunately like deliver some news, and it was hard for Danielle to hear. But you can tell a lot about somebody on how they handle bad news. And she handled it, created that space where she could be sad and upset about it, but also she was very respectful of where I was in it. And we had these like very incredible conversations that were very intense, and we were able to find a understanding, and it actually brought us significantly closer without any, anything being thrown at each other that we couldn't take back.
No, like no animosity. It was just understanding and ultimately closer intimacy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings us to Andy's.
Well, I'm actually I'm gonna ask a follow up to that. The move.
Yes, I'll take my shirt off.
Yeah. I was wondering when you were going to ask, but the move from Music City.
Yeah,
You're in Music City in Nashville to
Cleveland.
No hurdle there.
Definitely a hurdle, because I mean it was funny because you had just been down to visit me and the topic kind of came up about what that would look like when you would potentially be. We talked about like moving very lightly, and I basically just said like I'm knew going into a relationship with you, you weren't going to up and pull James out of Akron away from his family and
Right.
your support system to move down to Nashville. And like, I just basically wanted you to know that I was fine leaving Nashville. I was ready. Like Nashville had, was my city that I went, like I moved after Nick passed and like rebuilt, and I had kind of reached this point where it felt like it had given me all it was going to give me. Like my person wasn't in Nashville. So I went back on Paradise. And that was definitely like a small hurdle, but then some other things kind of happened that escalated the conversation a little bit more. And I was like, hey, listen, I need to know if I'm going to be looking for like a new job or to work at for like a couple months and then leave them and move up. Like, what are you thinking? Where's your head at?
And I think it got to the point where that decision to live in the same city was scary because it just became incredibly real. But we just kind of like how we decided on the beach, like there's enough here to make that leap. And if we don't make that leap, did we ever give this thing a chance?
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
We actually talk about that because another part of our podcast is we give relationship advice from the perspective of like a happily married couple. And this comes up is the idea of moving for love. And people are like, oh, I feel like oftentimes too, it's like the woman will be like, I feel so like, why am I moving for a man? It's
or
like
you have to be engaged before
Yeah.
you
Right,
move
right.
somewhere
Yeah.
like
No,
that.
reverse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without
And
a
also
doubt.
to know if it's going to work being together in the same city. Like long distance has to end at some point. And like someone's going to have to compromise. That's just how long distance works.
And people move for jobs that they're not even excited about.
Yeah.
Correct. And I think so often people look at the next activity, whatever that is, the next event, as that carries risk. You know, her moving up here, that carries risk. What's the risk of not doing anything? You know, there's
stay
substantial
where you're
risk there. Always, we are surrounded by risk. Risk is embedded in complacency. It's there when we make a leap of faith. It's always around us. This idea that making a decision to move forward with something is risky. It's just false. Staying complacent and stagnant is
The biggest risk.
The
You
biggest
don't grow.
risk.
You miss out on everything.
It's the baseball
You miss
analogy.
out on being in the same city as this guy.
That's right.
Aw. What's the baseball analogy?
I forgot. But there is one that's appropriate
Nailed
for this.
it.
Yeah. You only swing at the pitches you.
Oh no! Oh,
You miss 100% of the shots you don't
miss
take.
100. You miss 100% of the shots you don't swing at. You miss 100% of
Yes.
the pitches you don't swing at. Shots.
Yes.
She's screwing me up. She's Canadian.
Yeah, right.
You played baseball. Where were you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw that on a Brookstone poster, I think. One time.
No, whoa. I just made that up.
Oh,
That's
officially
mine.
yours.
That's
Okay.
mine. Yeah, I trademarked that. Anyway, leading into.
We're on a time crunch, so
Sorry, we don't
stop
wanna
going rogue and ask your
Sorry,
question.
I was about to. Yeah. Right. So I want to know, since you guys actually, for our Love Fest in general, on average, this is a newer relationship.
Yes.
I think. So kudos to you guys. It shows some confidence in your relationship. But I think you probably remember what your first big fight was, since you guys haven't been together that long. I want to know about that fight, and I want to know about how you guys fight in general and how you resolve conflict.
I hate the term fight because to me that implies that you're just screaming at each other.
And it implies there's a winner and a loser,
Yeah.
which a lot of times you're just trying to seek understanding.
So far, this is very on brand.
I think this is our
response.
first fight with me and Michael.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I know the first one. It was Wells's wedding.
Oh yeah. So
There in this particular altercation, there was a winner and a loser, and I was the loser. 100%.
It says so much that you brought it up, even though you were the loser.
Yeah, because I've completely like forgotten about that at this point. But yeah, we obviously Wells and I have been friends for forever, and he invited me to the wedding, and then he obviously did all this like matchmaking stuff in Paradise, knew we were together, and asked me if I wanted a +1, and I was like, dude, like, you know who I'm going to bring if you give me a +1. Is it safe to bring a +1? And
this is when we weren't allowed to be in public.
We weren't allowed to be in public together. And he's like, no, don't worry. Like, the only people, there's going to be no press there. Vogue is the only ones getting the pictures. And I mean, we totally messed that up anyways. But because we stood like right next to each other in the photo, we were not thinking.
No.
But we get home from the wedding, and Michael posts that he was there.
Oh, amateur.
At my friend's wedding that I could no longer.
This one's on me. Like I said, I'm still learning, the rules of social media. I felt so bad about it.
I was like, dude.
But at the same time, you also
friend.
who can keep that under wraps? Like you went to,
it's human.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's just.
Wait, so you were upset.
He was a guest at my best friend's wedding.
That's
One
right.
of my best friends.
I wouldn't have been invited if it wasn't for Danielle's friendship with everybody there.
And I could not do a congratulatory post for Wells and Sarah.
I took
because
that
you
from
took
her.
it.
Took the thunder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how did that go down?
To this day,
Shame.
I have
Shame this man.
to this day,
Shame onto your house.
I have not posted that I was at Wells's wedding, so I don't know if people actually know that I was at Wells's wedding.
But they know Michael was there. That's important.
I was there. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I was the hit of the ball.
No, I saw you post it, and I was like,
Mother.
I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this guy just wants to be famous. Like this is when I had so many, like, I was just worried that, like, I wasn't likable just for me. It was for, like, who I could be friends with, I had so much to offer.
No, but that is a real concern. Like when there are so many degrees of fame, I use fame with air quotes, but like of notoriety, and we live in a world where people really care about that.
Yeah.
And one thing happens to every couple once you go through this franchise is you wonder what was real.
Yeah.
You wonder what's performative, what's real. I mean, I remember when we got off the beach, we get to the hotel room and we're like looking at each other like, were you faking it? Like, was this all real?
Well, I didn't ever ask if you were faking it. I asked if you were my boyfriend.
Yeah, we're like, is all this happening? Because, I mean, there's a lot of pressure to be on it. No shame on anybody for doing whatever, they need to do. But there's like this decompression that has to happen where you're just like, is this real? Like, are we really going forward? Did you mean what you said?
He did.
Okay. We're on such a time crunch because we still need to get to the game.
We're completely fine too.
Okay,
right?
All right.
You got your meeting pushed back.
Yeah, I got my meetings pushed back.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you.
I moved them till 4:00. So I'm good.
I want to hug
you.
you. Thank you. That's so nice.
Wait till he gets his shirt off.
Actually, I took my pants off a while ago.
Yeah, you guys should.
Oh, dude.
I'm already playing.
I'm way before you.
Yeah. We're totally pantsless over here.
Okay,
Prove it.
Well,
Stand up.
Okay, I'm hovering on the. I know fight's not the right word, but okay, we're just gonna ask, who does what.
Yeah.
So, does anyone ever raise their voice?
no.
Who apologizes first, or is it dependent? Like
Michael apologizes first.
I picture that happening too.
I feel like we can both be really self-deprecating. So we kind of both do.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
they're really. I mean,
Wait, no, like I hear you. Yeah, you're totally right. No, that's totally valid. Like I know what I'm doing in this situation.
it typically doesn't escalate to the. I mean, we're stubborn too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very.
But I feel like it hasn't gotten to that place yet. And I'd be happy
Is
to
that
discuss
bad?
it. I'd
Is that
be
bad
happy
that
to
we
discuss
haven't
it.
yelled at each other?
Yeah, you guys suck at fighting.
Yeah, we're not
You
good.
need to
there's
get the
the
fighting
meat
game
towel.
up. Yeah. Yeah. You got to start fighting. When you
Meat
start
towel.
fighting, give us an update. I want to hear what happens.
Yeah,
First-
sorry.
first big
It's
fight.
totally boring on that. And like, I don't want to make it like a cop out, right?
Because like people are like, oh yeah, we
I just
don't
can't.
fight.
I
We
really
just-
can't think of a moment where we were, escalate.
I think we just try to thoughtfully discuss, which I know, I mean, like, we've definitely talked to been like crying, but
Yeah.
not like, we don't yell at each other.
When did you move in?
The
Oh no,
sixth.
but she's not moved in with him. She
I'm sorry.
lives-
When did you move to Cleveland?
The sixth. Yeah.
Okay.
By
I'm
the
only
way,
a couple weeks in.
I've got to say, I have such mad respect for the fact that you didn't just move in.
Oh, yeah.
I think that that's
we were
so
not
badass.
ready for that.
Yeah, but so many people are like, I'm moving. It's like, I'm going to move in. I just think a lot of people skip
Yeah.
that step.
Thank
And I
you.
just think it's so important.
I think for some people too, they took that as a lack of commitment to each other.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
think it's just the opposite.
It's the It really
Yeah.
is the opposite.
Because we haven't
It's so true.
we haven't dated in the same city. We haven't had like unlimited access to each other.
Right.
And there's just so much more to think about. Like, I wasn't gonna move up here and be like, "Hey, James, I'm your new roommate." Like,
Right.
it's not ready.
And
for
it's
that.
also, and you agree with this more than anybody. It's important to have your independence, your
Yes.
friend group, your identity,
My
all of
space.
those things.
while we're figuring like everything.
And it's great for James too, because I'm in kind of the suburb and she has this awesome place downtown. So we got these little staycations that you can have for a kid, and it's 25 minutes away, and he thinks it's a whole vacation when he's
Yeah.
up there. So it's cool to kind of give him a little bit of the best of both worlds.
So, Andy, I think my love of ZocDoc is well documented.
Well, Zoc documented.
It is well documented. I mean, our Shandies know by now that I've booked countless doctor's appointments through ZocDoc, including many physicals. I have found doctors that I would not have otherwise found. I was able to filter down to doctors in our neighborhood or doctors close by, so it's convenient, doctors who accept my insurance, my relatively obscure health insurance, and who were available, honestly, sometimes within 24 hours. It's really incredible. And then I was able to book through ZocDoc, meaning I didn't have to then call the doctor's office. But to top all of that off, I am obsessed with ZocDoc's dashboard.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is a random thing to talk
It's
about.
not random.
I love it. They keep track. They're like, your last physical was then. You're due for a physical now. The last time you had an eye exam was then. You're due for this. Like, they tell you. Basically, they act kind of like your parents, like when you're little, but in the best way. Because, when you're little, my mom would be like, oh, it's time for your eye exam. You haven't been in a while. And then you start adulting and you're like, I have to keep track of this
You shouldn't
stuff.
have to. It's a waste of brain.
It is a waste of brain. And that's why I love how ZocDoc holds your hand. I go to that dashboard and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't realize that it has been 16 months since my last eye exam.
And you're not playing Dr. Roulette.
Yes, which is very important. You're not leaving it up to chance. You see hundreds of patient reviews from people just like you, and you get a very good sense of their bedside manner, how professional they are, how qualified they are, based on all these reviews. I'm sorry, but crowdsourcing is almost always right.
And of all the people who should be held to account, it's doctors.
Yes. So ZocDoc is the free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, accept your insurance, and are available when you need them and treat almost every condition under the sun.
Go to ZocDoc.com/Shandy and download the ZocDoc app for free.
Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours, and I can attest from personal experience that this is true.
That's ZocDoc.com/Shandy. ZocDoc.com/Shandy.
Before we get to the game, I just have a question for you as a parent, Michael. The idea that we talked briefly earlier about the inability to be almost proud of yourself or to celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
Do you find that being a parent override I imagine that with James, it's just unfettered pride. That's what I'm imagining.
Yes, it's unbelievable. I mean, being a parent is incredibly difficult. But I guess all things that you really love are difficult. If something comes very easy, you never really take time and appreciate it whatsoever. It just comes and goes. But watching him go through life and seeing like the world through a kid's eyes again, it invigorates you in a weird kind of way. And it's, I mean, long nights, we have been through everything together, and seeing him where he's at in his life. Like we were just at a Cub Scout meeting last Saturday.
I knew this was going to come up.
Yeah, last Saturday. And he walks in there. There's all these older kids there. They immediately run up to him. They're doing like a Pinewood Derby thing. And, they race these little cars. And this kid's like, you can use my car to race. And James is like, all right, cool, thanks. And his car ended up winning. And he got like this little medal. And
So proud.
So proud. Kid didn't even build the car. He raced somebody else's. But he gets to the car and he literally, he's like, I haven't felt this proud for myself like in a long time. And you're just like, oh my God.
Is it something that, like, are you deflecting? Is he picking up that you're not speaking proudly about yourself?
A parent's guilt is literally everywhere. It's nonstop, but it's it's one of those things I'm always trying to work on. But I mean, in terms of being the source of my pride, it's all in that kid.
Oh my God, that just gave me chills. I haven't felt this proud in a long time.
Yeah.
It's like he heard that somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, he's I'm going to say this. There were a bunch of like memes going on from Bachelor in Paradise about like the things James says and people questioning whether or not he says them. He says them.
He is the
like he's like, yeah, go ahead.
He's so witty. He's so witty. It is like and I don't even know that he totally gets yet how funny he is, but he's funny.
Yeah, like adult funny, not like this kid's, come around here. He's really good, but he's had a lot of life experience. I mean, we have very deep conversations. Like he's 6 years old, but I mean, he gives me advice.
Wow. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, well, that's the perfect place to segue into the game then. It is now time for the Dear Shandy Newlyweds Game. Yay!
Yay!
I haven't...
Good job.
I play along. I was way too excited for that. Sorry.
He wanted to be part.
Okay, so I'm not really sure how this one's going to go because there were a lot of sort of like Danielle seemed very unsure.
Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist. I just want it all to be, I just need to get everything correct.
Okay.
I don't like to admit that I can't.
Grade A student over here.
I think Danielle's, I sense a lot of honesty and realness from her, which makes me feel like she's going to do really badly.
Probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah. With each question, she looked kind of like, like she was really, I think, caring too much almost. And Michael was just like totally easygoing.
Yeah, but also not super confident.
No, neither of them seemed
Michael's
super
a little tougher to call. I'm going to go
Andy predicts.
I'm going to go 2-1 Michael victory.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to break up if you're wrong.
Oh, that's true. Actually.
2-1. That is, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
sorry. Don't take it personally. It's because how new your relationship is.
Yeah, and they don't live together.
And you don't live together.
That's a ruthless.
It's a serious handicap.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is actually. It is. Okay, so question number 1, Danielle will be asking you, which means, Michael, this is your point to win or lose. Danielle, you walk into a bar. What is your drink order of choice? And show the camera. Whiskey, she wrote.
Wow,
Okay.
old school. Do you just like say like bang your fists on the table like whiskey and it just slides down?
On the rocks.
The boys of the still mill. I got whiskey too.
Nice.
Oh, he got it. Very
Whiskey on the
nice.
rocks too.
Very
A little more
nice.
specific.
Okay, good, Michael.
done.
Okay, so Michael, you walk into a bar. What do you order?
I had 2 answers here.
No.
Is that cheating?
No. Oh yeah. Full
Wait,
cheating.
we'll see.
No, it's
we'll,
cheating.
We'll see when we get there.
Cheating.
She'll get one of
He
them.
wrote 2. I know what the other one is.
Oh,
Hold on.
that's cute.
Hold on.
She's gonna go write it right now.
Okay, we'll make an exception. How about
Okay.
this? You got to get both. If you want to do 2, you got to get both.
Oh, he could really.
You'll probably
screw
get
her.
this.
Okay.
Okay, Michael. Let's see the 2. Scotch and red wine.
Okay.
Okay. She doesn't look happy. Let's see.
I should have gone with Scotch. I did red wine and mezcal.
Oh, I love mezcal.
He
Point for
really-
me.
No, you don't get a point.
I don't get a point.
It's your answer.
Oh. So did she get a point? How does this
Well,
work?
we're kind of confused. You kind of screwed her.
Yeah.
I think she deserves the point. She put red wine. And then she added mezcal only when she heard that he had put 2. He's the one that put 2, which really puts her at a
Okay.
disadvantage.
Let's give it to her.
she
I
got it.
agree. I agree. Okay. We're gonna give it to you.
1-1.
I agree. Okay.
You're just trying to get your prediction to be right.
Yeah, that's
Sicko.
totally true.
Okay. Question number 2, Danielle. So, Michael, this is your point. What is your biggest peeve? And the two of you agreed it would be about each other. So let's see. Your biggest peeve about Michael.
This is gonna need some context.
Meat
Hold on.
towel.
No context at all. I'm totally good. Totally makes sense.
It says meat towel on it.
So when Michael, when Michael cooks, you know how some normal people will go and if they touch meat or eggs, something like that, they go and they do the quick little rinse their fingers and paper towel dry or wash their hands.
Uh-huh.
He touches the meat and it touches the meat towel, so no one else can use the towels. Everyone is stuck having to use the paper towel.
I have a towel I usually put hanging out of my pocket, and I'm just wiping.
No, it's
stuff
on the
off
dishwasher right now.
There's no meat on that towel.
So it's just like an E. coli towel, basically.
Basically, that's
Okay.
what I'm being accused of here is the meat towel.
That's a very respectable piece.
So I'm answering what she.
Yeah. Did you not do that the first time?
No, I got it. Sorry, I'm really confused on that. I don't know. I'm gonna catch up.
The game is fun.
Yeah,
Okay,
so you
so
have
what
to
did
put
you
up
think Danielle would put about you?
Meat towel.
Oh my
Wow.
God, he got it. He got it. He even said meat towel. He didn't say E. coli towel.
No, the towel I wipe meat on. It's the meat. I have a feeling this has been discussed.
Okay. Wow. Very
Wow.
nice.
Uh-oh.
It's an area of improvement. It's on my
Okay.
performance plan.
Okay.
So let's stop the game right here. 2-1. Congratulations.
Okay. Michael, what is your biggest peeve about Danielle? She looks like she knows what this is going to be. She's nodding.
Being late.
Being late. Oh.
That is it.
I'm always
Wow.
late. Wow.
You know, you
2-2.
guys, I'm not. This is BS. You were.
I know. I own my flaws, babe.
Me too.
Yeah, you guys were
Andy's
making
upset.
believe you were going to do badly. I don't like this. We were set up.
You stop making this about you. They
It's
love
true,
each
it's
other
true. It's not
so
about me.
much.
This is
They
about them.
know. They
It's
know.
really about them.
Okay. So Danielle, you can only listen to one musician, band, or composer for the rest of your life. Who is it? I'm very curious because you really struggled with this one.
I really struggled, and I'm not gonna lie. I put down 2,
Okay.
and I put down 3 for Michael.
You know,
We're case by case. We're gonna see. Let's see what you put for yourself.
The Strokes and Brandi Carlile.
the Strokes is excellent.
How
No,
do you feel
nothing
about
against
Brandi
Brandi Carlile. I also like Brandi Carlile.
Okay. All right. So Michael.
So I thought she was gonna say head and heart.
Which
Oh.
my friends are gonna be mad that I didn't say them, but
Okay, so this is a fail.
yeah,
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Good. Things
Good.
just got more
Clean
interesting,
fail.
honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, clean fail.
And I mean, she did struggle. She was struggling to answer
Yeah,
for
this
herself.
was the most struggly question.
I have
The
to
Head
admit,
and
I
Heart
would
was
also.
up there too.
So is that a band? I don't know them.
Yeah, I don't know them either.
Yes, yeah, it's a band.
Okay, I'll check.
We don't
them out.
know much about anything after 2000. I was checked out completely.
I'm always just listening to class.
The Strokes actually were the last. That's literally the last band. I was like, that's a new
you
band
adding
I'm
another
into.
No. The Strokes are one of the best bands
Yeah,
of our generation.
Tremendous.
If you remember, everything was going very pop at that time, and we didn't have that Lower East Side grunge, like garage rock sound. And they just came in and blew it all away. I'm a huge Strokes guy. Yeah.
They were great. They were like, they really brought it back. And then it went away again.
Is that foreshadowing for your answer, Michael? You can only listen to one musician, band, or composer for the rest of your life. Who is it?
Well, I wrote 2.
I have 3 for you.
The Strokes and Wolf Parade.
Ooh.
Oh, you put. Oh. I wrote Wolf Parade, White Buffalo, and Walkman.
Great. Awesome bands.
I'm torn. Like,
This is not a conversation.
I don't know if, because she had to guess
can't do it.
3.
Can't give it to her.
But she got Wolf
But she
Parade.
already got a slightly questionable point. Can't give it to her.
Yeah, you can't reward it twice. This
Wolf
point
Parade
goes to
I
me.
had first. Then I wrote White Buffalo, and then I added Walkman.
She did write Wolf Parade first, but it looked like he wrote Wolf Parade as an afterthought on his.
I think there's
I
a
did.
general disrespect for the game here. I'm not
It really
happy with
is.
it. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And to show you who's boss here, we're not giving you that point, Danielle.
Yeah.
So it's still 2-2.
Yeah, this is our show.
Okay.
Nice try.
Okay.
Start
Good
to
effort,
respect
though.
your authority.
Yeah.
I call it a win, babe.
Yeah, I think it's a win.
Okay, question number 4, Danielle. And you agreed that this would be physical attributes, not personality traits.
Yeah.
Danielle, if you could have Michael's blank, what would it be?
Sounds so creepy. Skin and eyes.
Oh,
He
that's
does
nice.
have good skin and eyes.
Yeah.
He's got great skin.
Okay, let's
He's
see.
due for his talks. Like, don't look at it. But he's got great skin.
Do you do it?
Yeah. I told him I'm the only one allowed to put needles in his face.
I've gotten it once. What was it? How long ago was that?
It was end of September.
Yeah. And now it's like I feel like I'm addicted to it.
That's
Slippery
the thing.
slope.
It really is. It really
Yeah.
is.
But how,
So,
I mean, that's a superpower. You have her doing that
Yeah.
for you. My God.
now that she's up here, my mom and all of her friends are like, "When's Danielle gonna come up?" Like they're all clucking to get up there and like get right to
Yeah.
Danielle.
People coming out of the woodwork.
I know.
Like some cousin you never knew you had. You're like, hey, it's been so long. I should see this beautiful woman you're with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought she was gonna say my hair.
Oh.
He's also got good hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have great hair.
You have great hair. Yes.
It's like a backhanded
That's a good
compliment.
comeback, actually.
I
Okay.
thought you were gonna say my eyes.
Oh, wait. You're skipping ahead. Michael, what about you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No respect at all.
No respect for the game. We didn't even go there yet.
Oh, whoops.
Okay,
I
Mike.
actually said your thighs.
You did not.
I'm just kidding.
The swollen thighs or just regular
Swollen,
thighs?
though.
Okay,
No,
swollen.
they were
In
they
the
were
hot Mexican heat.
They were ankles and calves. Well, basically knee down. It was very swollen.
Yeah.
Okay.
We spent about a half hour on this.
Yeah. I think we put
Go
this
on.
to rest.
Michael, if you could have Danielle's blank, what would it be?
I didn't know what to put, but I put her style.
That's not
Oh,
a
you
attribute.
screwed her so
That's- you screwed
hard.
her, yeah.
How is she supposed to work with
That's
that?
not a physical attribute.
She
Yes,
can't
it
get
is.
that.
Isn't that physical?
No.
It's
No.
appearance.
I mean, I kind of in the middle on this one. It's kind of neither.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
said physical.
compliment.
It's more personality because your
thank
body
you, but-
doesn't make your fashion. Your
Yeah.
mind makes your fashion.
But it's the way she wears it.
So you're saying she's a good mannequin.
The whole thing. It's wonderful. Am I digging myself out of a hole now?
You're digging
Answer
sideways.
it correctly.
Yeah.
So Danielle, let's see what you thought he would say. Yeah.
He loves my eyes.
I do. They're wonderful.
My eyes and you
And
keep
abs.
talking about abs this year, and so because I have them.
Because you have them and I don't? You're gonna dad bod shame me? I would take your abs. You have amazing
look at you, and
abs.
I'm like, God, you're so fucking hot.
Oh, thank you, baby. Oh my God.
You know what I find funny about that question is if you get it wrong, it makes you sound like conceited
Oh,
about
yeah.
the thing that you
Oh, that's so true.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
one.
This is a
Yeah.
tough question.
Yeah.
I feel like this question is for people who've been together for like at least 10 years.
I actually think you two made a really crucial error by going physical attribute instead of
It's always a bad
personality
call.
trait.
Always
Yeah.
a bad
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
I think we
Sorry.
should just not give it an option. I think we should just be what's the personality
Well, because I think
trait.
depending on the couple.
How would
had
you
it
guys
been-
feel if someone broke up, like a couple broke up during your love fest over this question?
We'd feel like we accomplished
Yeah,
something.
that's the goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, final question. Question number 5, Danielle.
Okay.
How do you take each of the following? Your coffee or tea, your eggs, and your potatoes.
Matcha with coconut milk, eggs. I mean, like probably over hard or scrambled, and truffle fries.
Great penmanship, I have to say.
Oh, thank you.
So I went with matcha,
Okay.
tea, circled tea, matcha, eggs, scrambled potatoes, fries.
Wow.
Oh, very nice.
He nailed that. That was
Very
incredible.
nice.
Wow. I love how he circled tea first.
Yeah.
It's like, will you go to
Excellent.
prom with me? Why or no? Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, so Michael's, Danielle, this is your game to
This is it.
lose.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is.
All right, Michael, you go first. How do you take each of the following? Coffee or tea, eggs or potatoes?
Coffee, black, eggs, poached, potatoes, mashed.
Poached. Yeah.
I support those. He's
Yeah,
so
those
you
are-
know what he appreciates is a soft, runny food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doesn't like eggs. You will
poached-
take or
poached-
leave eggs.
Poached are the only way I like it because you can actually like blend it into everything,
Yeah.
and it's not. If scrambled, it becomes like a standalone. But
Yeah,
poached,
scrambled is. I mean, I like scrambled.
Coffee
Scrambled is
black,
pretty basic.
No eggs, but scrambled if anything.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And I put truffle fries for you too because you like the truffle.
I do like
mushrooms.
truffle
Coffee,
fries.
black, eggs, scrambled, if anything, and truffle fries. Ooh, she only got 1 out of 3.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Okay, so
Yeah, I lost.
okay, so 3-2 for Michael. Andy, your prediction was right in terms of who would
Close.
win.
Close.
You didn't give them enough credit.
No, I got the spread.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Michael, you are the winner of the Dear Shandy Newlyweds Game. Woo!
Congratulations.
But Danielle, you end up winning too because it means that he just loves you so much. He
Yeah.
knows you so well.
He does.
I listen, babe.
He does.
You guys,
Here,
you
I
were
thought I would listen more, but apparently I don't.
No, I appreciate what a perfectionist you were. I think that I would perfectionize myself out of winning this game too.
You would perfectionize yourself out of
I would become so obsessed with
Yeah.
getting it right exactly that I would just kind of
Yeah.
go off course at some point. You guys, thank you so much for joining us today. What
Yeah,
a
that was very
delightful
fun.
love
Thank
fest
you.
this was. Michael, do you feel like you know what a love
Look
fest
at
is
they
now?
love each other more than they did when
know.
they started.
I know what a love fest is now, and
Yeah.
can I put my pants back on?
No.
No, keep them off.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for having me. Like we've been fans of you guys for a long time, and hopefully one day we get to meet in person.
Yes.
Oh,
if you're ever in the
yes.
city,
Yes,
definitely
please
give
give
us
us a
heads
ring.
up.
We will.
Okay,
Done
we,
and done. Thank
we
you
will
so
set
much.
you free. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Woo.
Oh,
That was okay. Wow, that was
oh
long,
my God, my ears. So
and
nice.
it didn't feel long.
No. That was, I could have gone on for, that could have been like an all day thing.
That was actually dangerous. It was dangerous how fun they were because suddenly we were like 50 minutes in and I'm like, oh, wait, we haven't asked how they fight yet. We need to ask how they fight.
It's like a full love fest in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, they're just really easy people.
I gotta say, I'm like, this was some crazy prediction. I knew that we were going to really we were going to
Yeah.
vibe with them really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I mean, just the age alone, I don't want to focus on the age, but they are, a little bit more aged than our average love fest. A little bit. Not that that's always everything. That's not even always anything.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that that combined with the fact that I think they are really solid humans.
There's such an interesting example of, to me, they're the poster child example of a couple that uses the show just as like a means to finally meet each other
Yeah.
and maybe give this a romantic chance.
Right.
And then that's it. That's all they used it for, because you can tell they're so like compatible. They're laughing all the time. There's such a vibrancy to them together that I'm going to be honest, I didn't feel like I saw on TV.
I agree. Well, what I saw on TV, I questioned. We did. I was not sure what I was seeing.
It was
now
towards the end where we were like, it was when on the show he was like, I think Laura would really love you or would approve of you, you know, that kind of thing, that I was like, oh, he wouldn't say that.
Well, right.
Lightly.
It's like going to like one of those timeshare things where guys rope you into like trying to sell timeshares to you. You know, like who goes into those? No, I know it's going somewhere. Trust me. Who goes into those things like right away? They're like, so welcome. You're like, I want a timeshare. Right?
I mean, no,
yeah,
I don't.
You play hard to get till the very end. They're like, here's $200 to spend in the local restaurants.
Broadway
like,
tickets.
Yeah, anything you want. I'll like sleep with you. You know, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to think about this.
Yeah, because you can get more stuff out of it.
Yeah, or you just don't want to do it.
Wait, how is this related to them as a
It's very loose. Very loose.
Okay.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it's certain things you do in life where you don't want to just dive in right away. You want to just test the waters.
Well, it does show their maturity and also how seriously they take it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
If they met in real life, like they just hanging out at a bar and they just started chatting and they're like, wow, I really like you. That's different. And you could dive right in.
Yeah.
On TV, they both played it smart.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually upset we had as much fun as we did because I had more things I wanted to talk to them about.
Yeah, there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, like knowing that they know about us. Like we don't always know when we interview these people whether or not they watched our recaps of their seasons.
Sure.
And there's something kind of meta there because I kind of want to be like, so what did we get wrong?
I know.
And not to make it about us.
It's so self-indulgent. It's like, let's talk about what we thought about you.
Yeah, but it's not, but I actually think, so it is self-indulgent, but it's also like, I want to be corrected. Like, I want to know what.
You got this wrong.
Yeah. And I say that partly because I feel like, I mean, we're going way back now, but to my experience, you know, when I felt misunderstood by someone who I felt on the most part did get me, I wanted to be like, you just got that thing wrong.
Totally. I get it. It's like sitting down with the director of a film that you really like and asking them like, what, this scene, was he thinking this? And then you find out, you're like, no, he wasn't. Good story, Eddie. Really knocking them down today.
Oh, they were delightful.
Yeah.
They're that couple that if you go on a double date with them, you know it'll be relaxed because they're not taking little like snipes at each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about them. First of all, you don't have to worry about awkward silences and you don't have to worry about them with each other.
That's a big thing in double dates.
Yeah, sometimes you're babysitting.
Yeah, sometimes it's awkward because you're like, oh, they're kind of like,
there's tension.
There's tension. They're sort of like making passive aggressive remarks. Like they're trying to be funny at their partner's expense.
Right.
That always gets me.
Then you're constantly changing the subject. I find.
And
Like,
you're
it's
like,
like, okay, anyway.
Yeah, no, they're just so in tune with each other. It was just lovely.
Maybe we should have been naked.
Taking love fests to the next
We
level.
should try that one day. I mean, it's easy for me to say.
Why?
Well, I mean, you know.
Why
I
is
mean,
it?
guys can go topless, no big deal.
Yeah.
Which I always find interesting. I mean, I understand there's a sort of a, biological difference.
Yeah.
But I always find it interesting that guys topless, no big deal ever.
Yeah.
No, you could be G-rated, anything. Guy topless, woman topless, big deal.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm going to lobby for that.
That's
Dedicate my life to changing the way things are.
Is that the battle you want to pick at the end of this?
Yeah, that's probably not the right one. That's my Waterloo. It's a Napoleon reference.
Waterloo.
Is that a song?
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
That's a song?
Yeah.
Is that from wait, let me guess. That sounds like ABBA.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you. I'm also really happy Michael found someone great. Like I think everyone had a collective like, oh, for Michael.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see where he's landed.
Yeah, I forget which question it was an answer to, but he talked about how even in the face of a lot of criticism, he already had the prize. Like it was okay. He could withstand anything because he got what he what he wanted. You know what I mean? It's different than if you go on The Bachelor and you leave and it's sort of like you're on your own. Like he really got what he went there for.
Right. And all you have is your fans either criticizing you or applauding you.
But he was able to withstand it with her. That was cute.
Yeah, it was cute. Quasi cheating in the Newlywed Game. Yeah. We're going to have to speak to management about that.
A lack of respect.
Yeah, no respect for the game.
Okay, I have nothing else to add. They were lovely.
Yeah, I'd like to have an IRL date with them.
Me too. I feel a strong desire for a double date. And on that double date, I would ask, what did we get wrong?
Yes.
Let's talk about me. Well, if you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram and
TikTok.
Leave us Apple and
Spotify.
Podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Yeah, the most important one of all.
Yeah.
How important are friends? They say so much about you.
They do.
Yeah. And you should tell them when you like a podcast.
That's the first thing you should do with friends.
Yeah. You are being a good friend by telling them about Dear Shandy.
That's what I want. I want all my friends, when I first see them, to talk to me about all the podcasts they like.
And generally do all of the things you would do to support a podcast you enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.